That's the history. Now I can cite you also, after the rejection of the UN plan in 2004, 6 years ago, it's not far away. 28th of May 2004, Kofi Annan's report on Cyprus. Please do read it. 28th of May 2004. Who says that the referendum result shows that the Greek Cypriot side is not ready to share power with the Turkish Cypriots. As simple as that. That's the result of the referendum. Now, was it Turkey's intention to restore the constitutional, which constitutional order? 1960, right? But how many years passed from 1960? We are talking about 1974. Already 14 years passed. But since 63, when the Turkish Cypriots were kicked out from the government, this whole state machinery, please do read the Security Council, the Secretary General reports of 63 to 74. Yeah. But not just Kofi Annan. Go back to 1960s and read the reports that the Turkish Cypriots were kicked away from the government, from the state machinery. It was not their fault. Now, from 63 to 74, 11 years already elapsed. Was it possible to go back to the 1960s constitutional order? I don't know. Maybe. But, as I said, it takes two to tango. One side cannot unilaterally establish the constitutional order until, right? Many years ago. So, of course, then in the 80s, the regime in Turkey, in 1980, to be very precise, 12 September 1980, this time in Turkey we had a military government, a fascist government. And the Greek Cypriots realized that, hey, who likes fascist governments? Not the democratic world, not the Europeans. So they played against it. Turkey's image in the world in the 80s and good part of 90s was very negative, right? Human rights violations and whatnot, very widespread. So that was the propaganda of the Greek Cypriot machinery, that it was always the Turks who do not want a solution in Cyprus. Now, what I'm saying is that changed with the AKP government. You like it or not. With the zero problem policies of Professor Ahmet Davutoğlu, who is the foreign minister of Turkey. Relations with Iran, Iraq, Syria, excellent. Russia became trade partner #1 with trade volume about $30 billion with Turkey. It is playing a mediating role in the Caucasus and South in the Central Asia. It used to play a role between Syria and Israel on Golan Heights until the recent government in Israel. So we are not talking about the same Turkey. It's a changing country. Flags, yes. This flag is constitutional in Cyprus. If you read 1960 Republic, flying Greek and Turkish flags, in addition to the Cyprus flag, is constitutional. Why? Because they are the guarantor powers. You understand what I'm saying?
Where is the UK flag?
The UK flag
Did
was
you
not.
see any Turkish flag on the other side?
No, but I mean,
Sorry?
Did you see any Turkish
but I mean,
flag?
look, if you go to the south, you will see Greek flags, Republic of Greece.
Like, you're still the same country. Like, do you see that you are losing your power in Europe?
Say again?
Do you see like you are losing your power? You can like improve your economies within like 1 decade. loads of money in Brussels that you can take.
Yes.
But you just focus on the matter of rather you are Cyprus, Turkish.
Please do not equate with me with the state. I'm not representing the state. When you say you,
I mean like you, maybe like because you're very
you
smart
can
person, so
criticize,
maybe
or you
no.
can talk about my presentation, just like this gentleman who says that, who claims that I am not objective. You are entitled to say that.
In your opinion, what's the solution? Like, you think this federation is going to work within like 2 years? Like
To give you a personal note, I have been a romantic federalist, and I was blamed in my own community a good part of 1990s. I was regarded as a traitor, my dear friend.
It's always like that.
It's always like that. Why? Because of my support for a federal solution. I agree that during that time, the Turkish policy was not really supportive of federation. But that changed. That's what I'm saying. That currently the Turkish government is supportive of a federal solution in Cyprus based on the UN parameters, but simply our Greek Cypriot friends are not ready for the type of federation that the UN is proposing, or the type of federation that their own leaders had a signature since
Do
1970.
you want to go forward?
Huh?
Do you want to go forward?
Who wants to go forward?
I'm saying you, like Cyprus, like here, the island. You want to grow up?
How healthy or how realistic or how logical is it to talk about one Cyprus, whereas in reality, since 63, there are two, whether we like it or not is a different discussion, but in reality, since 1963, people are living separately. I'm not saying that I like this or I dislike this. I'm just trying to give you an objective account on it. The reasons can be discussed, but what I'm saying is new generations came into the island. They grow and they were raised in the island separately. Now even before 60s, when there were even mixed villages, meaning both Greek and Turkish Cypriots were living together. When you want to understand how much the island was integrated, how much the people were integrated, there are some indicators. You look at the inter-ethnic or inter-religious marriages. Ask my former Yugoslavian friends, my Serbian friends now. The amount of, the number of inter-ethnic marriages.
We also have Slovenian friends
Fine,
from
yeah.
ex-Yugoslavia.
In Cyprus, unfortunately or fortunately, whatever you call it, I don't care. But the number of inter-ethnic marriages were very few. Meaning, although people lived in the same village, they did not mix. They were good neighbors, fine. They were not killing one another, fine. But they were not marrying one another. Some sociologists were saying it is the strict nature of Orthodox Christianity, but I don't know.
Maybe it's the language.
How can you explain Yugoslavia then?
I'm not explaining Yugoslavia.
No, but I mean...
Some sociologists say I said in Cyprus.
Yes.
Okay, so if you want, you can go and criticize them. I don't know. I'm just giving you some of the accounts. But the reality was that they were not marrying one another. So there was separation even when they were living in the same village for so many years. There are taboos. I remember there is a movie, well, a documentary on Cyprus. It's called Pila, which is the name of a village, which is about 15 kilometers away from here. something like that. Pile is about 15 kilometers from here. It is the only village, even now, which is mixed. Greek and Turkish Cypriots live in the same village. But it is very much divided, again, mind-wise. I remember this documentary, a lady, a Greek Cypriot lady, who was saying, we cannot live with the Turkish Cypriots. So why not? They are dirty. How come? They are not baptized. You understand what I'm saying? They are not baptized. The lady believes that they are not baptized, so it's the years-long historical, whatever taboos. You ask a Turkish Cypriot, says, the Greek Cypriots, they would never accept us as equals. They see us as second or third class citizen. You understand what I'm saying? So there are historical taboos, historical fears in people's minds.
May I please just explain the comment on the flag? Because he asked me
What flag?
what I said about having Turkish flag in the northern side.
Yes?
I didn't know that they had Greek flags in the south side, but the flag, I mentioned the flag only as a symbol because I think from the story and everything I heard until now is that the north side is not independent in the sense that Turkey controls in a large amount on the north side and that you're not independent, while I feel that the South Cypriot side is pretty much independent of Greece.
What do you mean by independent? Independent
I mean
means
that
what?
they
Being
have
able
their
to
own-
make your own decisions, right?
Yes, that they have their
Okay.
own government, and that it's not like a puppet government, or, I mean, you have to be very dependent of Turkey since it's the only country that recognizes you.
Here, you gave the answer yourself.